Welcome to the Outer Realm with MicheleDerocher and Amelia Pisano. Airing live on the United Public Radio Network, 105.3 FM in New Orleans.
Good evening, everyone. Welcome to the Wednesday night segment of The Outer Realm. We're broadcasting live on the United Public Radio Network, UFO Paranormal Radio Network, 105.3 from the Gulf Coast and 107.7 FM from New Orleans. We are fully sponsored by the amazing people over at Folgers Coffee who have been a part of our journey since the very beginning. So thank you, Folgers. We couldn't do it without you, nor would we want to. Also, big thank you to Justin Snicker, a.k.a. Dr. Snick, the Sonic Surgeon, for the contribution of his time, his music, and his voice for the intro you just heard. He is an award-winning composer of Halloween, horror, sci-fi, and dark wave electronic music, which can be found on all of your favorite music streaming platforms. Also, huge thank you to Steve McGinnis, the artist behind the banners and logos here at the show. Check him out on Facebook and Instagram. Also specializes in the horror genre, but does phenomenal commission pieces of any type. So tonight needs no introduction. Bubbles and I are having an open mic. You people have been spoiled. You had two last month. You'll get two this month.
Wow.
I know.
Yeah.
But, people love them. People are asking. People have a good time. I'm like, we have a good time. That's for sure.
Speaking of high strangeness, as you're doing the introduction, my camera moved and moving it. It's in my laptop. Hello. Hi, Ellen. Hi, Heidi. Hi, Jamie. Yeah.
Hello. Oh my gosh. I just love you guys. You guys are all awesome. Hello. Hi, Ellen.
Hello.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. So, it's just sorry, I've got emails popping up while I'm trying to talk.
Okay.
It's like,
I don't know how to turn off the sound on mine.
This computer did this update and all of a sudden things are flashing up everywhere. So if you see me squirrel out for a moment,
I hate, what is the point of updates? They say it's to fix things and you end up with even more issues than you started with, especially on the phone.
I know.
When did autocorrect write a completely different sentence for me when I press the letter C?
AI. That's all I'm going to say.
I'm like, what? And I'm looking at it. So
AI. Beautiful thing. So there's lots going on. I'll tell you something. We had to start from scratch today because we have all the good stuff for the last two. And we're like, gosh, where are we going to go with it? And there's so much.
I have 100 pages, and I'm hoping that some of it was not covered when I was sick.
Oh,
but
my
yeah,
God.
It's okay. Yeah. I'm going to follow you. I'm going to follow your lead, but I know what you're going to start with, so I'm just.
Because that's the obvious, right? Which okay, people. Oh my God, paranormal in the news. Can we start with saying what the hell was Aaron Goodwin's wife thinking?
What the fudge, lady? And
right?
Only 11,000.
I know. It goes to show you. So the story in the news right now is Aaron Goodwin of Ghost Adventures. His wife was just arrested for trying to hire a killer to essentially peck him off. And in the article states, am I a bad person for just wanting to end his existence instead of a divorce? I don't know.
But I think she was trying to save money because she only offered the guy $11,000. I think if I was Aaron, I'd be more upset.
He's an inmate, I think, too. So he may have just been coming out needing every penny.
But like the pittance of what she was giving this guy to off him, I'd be a little offended personally. I think there's a little bit more than $11,000. I mean, I can buy 3 pairs of shoes, but you know what I mean?
I know.
It's just a little like I'm looking at it and I'm thinking,
it's shocking. So did they? I haven't seen a lot of articles. The one that I found didn't state the reason. Have you found anything where it stated the reason?
No, Michelle, I Google searched because I know it was on TMZ, but it's funny
Yeah.
because one of the other celebrities on ghost shows was the one that posted it and said, "Holy schnitzel."
Yeah.
And then I started looking at it. Not that it, because I never like to read about somebody's bad things. I don't wish anything bad. Aaron's such a
Yeah.
sweet man.
Yeah.
He's very well loved and liked by his fans. uh, I
Yeah.
just, and his
Yeah.
sister didn't put anything up. So I looked, and every news source is very MSM of them, has the same
It's the same traditional.
words.
Yeah. I know.
Yeah.
So I imagine this is all going to start unfolding. So we'll find out, is she a scorned woman, so to speak, or
Oh,
is she just a tired one?
I don't know.
I
I
don't
mean,
know.
like, you look at all the fancy stuff he's given her and the love that he gives her and the
Yeah.
praise. It's really hard.
Yeah.
Sometimes, as a person in paranormal, I'm sure this crossed your mind. Is there some kind of dark entity around any of this? Or is
Yeah.
she just
Yeah.
nuts?
I think it could be a
it's
bit of
both.
both. I mean, I definitely think that when you're working in the field, I always say people who work in this field take really big chances
Yeah.
working in certain areas of the field. The area I work primarily in for most of my paranormal career, so to speak, has always been in malevolent
Mhm.
hauntings and attachments and more of an aggressive haunting. So you do take chances. I mean, I've had things follow me home for sure. I've had things surround my
Right?
family. I've had, but this is like so premeditated. It's just like, what was it? Just a
This premeditated is the exact term for this. To have conversations with an inmate and
yeah,
discuss payment, and in the text reads, "Am
yeah,
I terrible because I'm not just asking for a divorce?" That to
mhm,
me is something's wrong up here.
yeah,
Because anyone who hires a hit person, not that I have experience in this, I'm just saying from what I've seen and through my criminal, not me being the criminal, but my work in crime, you don't often see this. What you often see is a cop interfering and being the person that you're going to hire so that they
mhm,
can,
mhm,
psychopath. I think
yeah,
sociopath would be the right one here, because sociopath, she doesn't have any bad feeling about it. She has no feeling
yeah, yeah,
whatsoever. There's
mhm,
no nothing. I mean, that's
mm,
very, very malignant, malicious. Yes.
yes,
Sociopathic, narcissist,
yes,
psychopath, there's a little bit of remorse and it's a lot about them.
mhm,
The
yes,
way she put that term out there,
mhm,
the way she said, yes, I know, I get them confused too. And I
yeah.
love your name, in my opinion. I love that. I love
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
Because I never have one. No, I'm just kidding. But
What
yeah,
opinion?
yeah, she knows me a lot better than that. But yeah, no empathy.
Yeah,
Sociopaths tend to not have any empathy, and
yeah,
everything is very well planned.
mhm.
Psychopaths a
Yeah,
little bit different.
in this case,
Yeah.
she had been conversing with an inmate, and basically this was all
11,000.
kinda
I'm
yeah,
dying here. I'm dying.
I know. Anyway, it is insane, and, it's a big holy crud moment, so what
Yeah.
a way to open up
Why
opening
not
up
just why not just walk away? I ask this question a lot, but I
the
don't think that it's a bad idea to perhaps
mhm.
suggest an exorcism. He, you don't see things in your own, like,
Well,
oh, thank you, Alan. I missed you guys too.
you know what's gonna happen though, is people are gonna start crying this card, and you know what's gonna happen when she goes to court, is she's gonna pull that off.
I think that
I had an
she's watched too many
attachment.
episodes of Snapped.
I know, right? It's just like
And she can say the
No.
devil made me do it. Absolutely.
It's a
Absolutely,
thing.
she can.
It's a thing, so
I don't
it's.
know. Under this new administration, I'd be a little bit careful about what you're claiming, but
Oh, I know,
it's a
but
little
it
tougher.
won't be for a lack of trying. Let's
No, I
face
agree
it,
with you 100%. Just that, just the fact that you're texting this back and forth already tells me you're not all there. Because, I mean, didn't your mama teach you don't write anything down that you don't want found? That goes for
No.
cell phones. Just letting y'all know. It goes for cell phones. You
I
may
know.
delete off of a computer, a phone, an iPad. It will still be there.
It will still be there.
So, and then you don't know what
Nothing
the other person
disappears
on the other end
anymore.
is keeping.
Yeah. Nothing disappears anymore, unfortunately,
No.
everything is there, pretty much
Yeah. Now
forever.
it's your screen, my screen, and the truth. Because you can manipulate that too.
Yeah, that's pretty much how it goes. Sad but true,
Well, somebody manipulated my screen in 2014, manipulated an email,
Mhm.
and I had to open up my emails and
Mhm.
show what it was, because this was regarding a case. This person went too far.
Mhm.
They
Mhm.
walked into my livelihood, and when
Mhm.
you do that, I'm going to make sure I'm going to fight back.
Mhm.
So I showed it, and it was altered.
Mhm. Wow.
It's not hard to
Yeah.
do that.
Kathy, we're just finishing off our conversation about how Aaron Goodwin from Ghost Adventures' wife tried to take a hit out on him.
But let's look
I
at
know.
that for a second.
I know. Yeah.
Nick's gone. Nick's divorced from his wife.
Yeah, exactly.
Now, this happens to Aaron.
So is there a curse? Is it the
Zach
Ghost
doesn't keep a
Adventures curse?
relationship.
No. That's because Zach's a man.
But yeah. But he was dating that beautiful Playboy bunny. And I don't like calling her that because she's highly intelligent.
Yeah,
She was
yeah,
doing
yeah.
a show in Vegas, and she was like the
Yeah,
smartest one out of that show.
Yeah, yeah,
But
yeah.
he was dating her for the longest time, and I thought, what a cute couple. Like, she's just a doll.
Mm-hmm. Well,
So, I'm starting to wonder about the paranormal side. That's all.
well, you know what? I don't underestimate anything in the world of high strangeness by any means. It's just crazy. And while we're on the topic of ghost adventures per se, Zach Bagans, you guys may have remembered a show called Destination Fear, and it renamed itself Project Fear, with Dakota Lading and his sister. There's a group of four of them. They're just fantastic. The show really took off. I'm starting to wonder maybe if there was a little bit of threat, being threatened happened in all of this. But anyway, things went wrong, and apparently, from what I remember reading, don't quote me on it, you best to look it up, but there was some mention that Zach, who of course is the one instrumental for creating the show and bringing Dakota on and getting him started, and but apparently just said, you know what, no more, that's it, we're not redoing this show. So they went on to YouTube with a YouTube channel, and now Project Fear has been going strong for a good couple of years at least. And they've just announced that now they're going to be, I think they're slated for 22 episodes, which is amazing.
Wow.
And they will release 2 per month. And again, there'll be new ones coming up now in April, because even though there's a break in there, it is expensive to film, and their shows are top quality. They travel all over the place. I know, right? Oh, I love them. They're just a great bunch of kids.
I've never seen them.
I love it.
Is this an American thing?
It is.
Yeah,
But it's on YouTube now, so you can find it there. That
Mhm.
they have a YouTube channel. So it's just, it's awesome anyway. I love it, and I think it's great. But they also have they're on X, so you could follow their journey there. And I guess they've just reached 500,000 people, so they're doing really good. Good for them, I say. Well deserved. Their show is excellent. It's very interesting, and
That's big coming from you, because a lot of shows are not very good.
What are you saying? We're gonna go there.
I'm saying that if you're saying it's good, then it must be really good because
Going there.
we have the we have the same kind of feeling when we watch certain things. Yeah. I'm just like, oh, come on, I'm so tired of this. But I think that didn't just happen in the paranormal field. It happened in the medical TV dramas and all the other dramas.
Yes.
It was the same thing. That's why you see the same thing going on. And then you say, oh, there's nothing good on television. And you're watching like 400 channels. It's because everybody bought the formula.
Same, you
Yeah.
know?
Yeah.
But yeah, see, Kobe and Sam. Yeah. See, there's a lot of, I love seeing camaraderie going on within the field. I love seeing the crisscrossing. It just shows unity. And I think there has to be, you know, in this field, you're sort of all in there together. And believe me when I'm telling you, the producers are awesome for putting the shows on, but make no mistake about it, they're making money. And at the end of the day, you don't have that creative control, at least not right away. So you are, you know, it's not for your best interests, right? You're going to have a lot of stuff that's just about ratings and nothing else. Ask me.
Oh my God.
I can tell you. So anyway, that is that. Okay, Bubbles, what do you have? And then I'll continue. Let's cover some of your stuff.
Let's do Nessie.
Okay. Oh no.
Because that's in the news.
Yeah.
6 days ago, but it's in the news.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Do it. I think it's great.
Oh.
Nessie is always in the news, you know, but
yes. Well, there was a first sighting for this year, and it's quite a clear photo. And they're so excited about it. They actually are reaching out to people to join a group so that they can look for the Loch Ness monster, which now they said, no, we didn't find DNA of a platypus dinosaur that lived. But now they're starting to wonder if this is just like some giant eel. Now, like, eel? Yeah, like how big is that damn eel? Like if it just kept growing and growing. I mean, really, like if there's that kind of longevity in eels, I want it injected in my face. Okay. Like I want to know what the hell is going on here, because
I'm going to actually, while you do this, I'm going to look at, you sent me a link to the article.
Yes.
So I want to put up the picture. I want to share the picture.
I was just like, wait a minute.
Yeah, I have a picture. Unfortunately, it's a video. So hold on, guys. I'm going to pause it.
It's right from there. It's their video.
Okay. So this is the picture. I'm just going to show it because it's live and I don't want to play their whole thing. It's copyright thing. I don't want to get into it.
And you think, wow, this is pretty.
Yeah. So here it is. Where is it? Here it is. Okay. Here we go. Hold on. I think we're good. There it is. Okay. So this is the picture they're talking about. Brand spanking new recently for 2025.
And look at the shadow under the waves.
Yeah.
So you can see the enormity of this thing. So
yeah.
They keep saying, well, all we find is DNA of eels. Well, sure, it's black. That water is black. They put cameras under there. You can't see anything. Yeah. It is black.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So that's the picture that everybody is talking about.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
But a freshwater eel that big? I think somebody's lying. Eels and eels.
Yeah. It's
oh my gosh.
It's pretty crazy. It's pretty crazy for sure.
Yeah.
But
it's exciting that they haven't had a sighting like this in a long time. So it does give hope to those of us who believe that Nessie really does live there. And maybe Nessie only comes out at night.
Yeah. Australia, we have some pretty large eels here. Everything you guys have is freaking supersized.
Yeah, like there isn't much that you don't have. I mean, your kangaroo could take out one of my brothers.
I know.
Just like,
I know.
Could take my cousin out, and he was like what's it called? The Walter whatever bodybuilder
Ultra
one
weight champion.
Ontario. Like we could take him
Yeah.
out. But
Yeah.
anyways,
Yeah, exactly. Yes, everything's big for sure.
yeah, your spiders for ugh.
Oh, can we talk about it? My daughter lived in Australia for a while, and I had to send her one of those like zapping tennis rackets. She goes, I'm going, what do you want this for? She goes, I'm going to strap it on the end of a broom and defend myself when this thing comes back in the house. I'm like,
Okay, this thing on the camera thing on my laptop is driving me crazy.
you
It
can,
keeps
you
trying
can
to center
disable it.
me.
Yeah,
No,
you
I
can
will. I
disable
will.
it.
I
It's on
will.
the top. Yeah.
I
You should do that. And then these little emojis pop up while you're talking. It's awesome.
will never stop with the way
Yeah, I
with
know.
my hands.
I know.
I should stay still because yeah.
There we go.
But is it Australia that has raining spiders? Like I know they're not raining, but I mean there's a time where they just come over and what country is it that they cover the entire like lands covered? Michelle's gonna heave right now. Covered
No,
in spider webs. You look like you're gonna heave. You're like,
that's those things are I've seen different countries have
is
things
it
like that, but
different
I don't know
countries?
about the
I don't
flying
know
one.
why. Oh, she's no, in my opinion, said yes. It is
Oh,
there. It is
okay.
maddening. Do you hide? And
Spiders are
how
just
long does that
big.
go on for? Because I'm gonna tell you right now, like I'd be with a blowtorch at my door. I have no sympathy for spiders.
My daughter said that she tried to just kind of shoo one away with the broom, and it got up on its haunches and kind of went like this with its
Oh,
she's like,
like a rat.
I'm done.
Oh,
Yeah. Yeah, because the
nice when
roomie
you're
just sort of
used.
left the door open and thing just kind of sauntered in.
Yeah, bears, bobcats, deers,
Yeah.
raccoons, snakes, coyotes. That's my backyard too, and
Yeah.
I'm in Canada. Australia, yes. On the grass, you can
Mm.
see webs all over the ground. They come in winter. During frost is when you see it. So you can't tell if it's a spider in the frost. God
Isn't that nice?
bless you all.
Isn't
God
that
bless
just
Australia.
great? Yeah, it's
It's
just
such a
great.
beautiful country, but I gotta tell you that one thing has kept me from seeing my relatives.
It's frightening. Just saying. It's frightening.
I'm
So
totally on your side. Kill spiders for a Sasquatch. Anything but never kill the puppy ones. The tarantulas are quite cute.
yeah.
They're
And
like
many of
little
them are
puppies.
harmless.
They're like little puppies with your little furries, and if you scratch them here, they actually like
People
it.
just, I was doing a ghost tour with an ex-colleague of mine who had severe arachnophobia. And whenever we would do the tours, sometimes people would just kind of randomly try to blend in who shouldn't have been on the tours. So usually I would walk the back and try to say, okay, I'd let them listen in for a couple of rounds because you never know, they might come back with friends but
Yeah,
after that it's not fair to everybody else. So I have to escort them on.
not if they're paying. No.
Well, it's not fair to those who are, right? So we let them have a couple of spots so they could get an idea of what's what. So this one guy wanders in. He's got to show you how long ago this was, like a VHS in one hand, and he's got like a tarantula in his other hand. So he goes over and he just goes and stands next to Buddy who's talking. And I'm just waiting for it. It's like entertainment all over again. Because I used to just bug him all the time about it. And he's just sitting there and he's yada yada. But he's sitting there going, oh, this is really good. It was a spider. And all of a sudden, he turns around, looks, and just like lost his bloody mind, runs almost falling all over himself. It was worth it just for the
I
reaction.
feel bad
because
for the spiders because they're
spider
so
was
sensitive. He would probably
oh,
get so scared.
spider was fine. He was all
No, the
happy and
spider like tensing up to that shrill.
no, not at all, buddy. Just falling around.
They're so cute.
He's still chillaxing, and it was
I used to be
interesting
freaked
anyway.
out by them, and then my cousin, I guess it was in Niagara Falls, she was the one from Rome that stayed with us. She went with her friends, and she had it crawling. She goes, "I swear, it's just so cute." And when I watch the video, I go, "Oh my God, it really is." It's just that thing that they put in your head, like demon, right? With
Yeah,
spiders in movies and I
yeah,
watched Arachnophobia. That was like, ugh.
yeah. See, I'm with Trish on this. I used to throw dead ones at me.
Hey, Trish. I'm not afraid of snakes. My brothers, brothers are so much fun,
Oh my
aren't
gosh.
they?
Yep.
Yeah. If my brother
And
threw a snake at me, he'd be swallowing it. I'm not afraid. I'm little, but I'm not afraid.
All right. Next, we're going to go about dreams, nightmares, leaching onto reality. And the reason I do this is because Wayne and I were having brekkie this morning, and we decided we just got into talking about this, or it might have been last night, about this experience he had as a child. Right?
Yeah.
And anyway, years and years ago, probably now back, this is probably 2020, so quite a while, I filmed a show called My Worst Nightmare. And it was very interesting to hear the stories. One of the stories was of a woman who did, I don't know if you guys are familiar with ayahuasca, but essentially to really do it with somebody who's reputable and who you have to be trained before you can do proper ayahuasca. So I know my son, like a few years back, and he goes, "You want to go to Peru? There's a 2-year wait for this guy to do ayahuasca, and he's like a shaman out there, and people wait forever. Like it's a 2-week thing there because you spend a week training, then you have your ayahuasca, and it takes you time to recover after. So it goes to show you how really intense it is.
Yeah,
Anyway,
your rooms are like in a tree house.
Oh yeah, I was sweat lodge, everything, and I'm just sitting there going, yeah, you know what, I'm good. So anyway,
You go.
I know, right? So anyway, I just like, you know what, I like having control over my head. I'm not real big on it. So anyway, this woman went for ayahuasca, but it wasn't here. And I mean, I'm not saying this is the only one that I know of. I don't really know. I don't really know what is what with who does what. Yeah.
Well, I'm laughing
That's
at
great.
in my opinion.
I'm glad she enjoyed it. I got a last minute thing. Can you show up? And
take her these last 10 episodes.
6 hours of having everything memorized. My God. Anyway, so anyway, this woman stated that when she came back out of it, that and it could just be because you face yourself, really. You really do. Like, you were made to face a lot of things. It's just like really delving deep into your core. But she basically said something came back with her. And this is not the first time I've heard this sort of a story. I've heard it with DMT. I've heard it with people doing mushrooms. You open that up and you never know what you're going to encounter. No. You're seeing things are seeing you. But this woman was tormented, and she couldn't find anybody at the time to help her. She was going through counseling, and this just sort of leached into her life. And I had heard the same thing with people who have not been put under proper hypnosis, meaning, they were hypnotized, but they were never properly brought out of it. So something came back. They were getting migraines. They were seeing things all the time. It was terrible.
I can't do it. I'm like Alan. I can't handle you have to throw up before it takes effect.
Well, with ayahuasca,
give you a bucket.
But it's not like that on other things, from what I understand, because I had to research a lot of this to do that specific episode. And so ayahuasca, it's very, very intense.
It doesn't work unless you throw up.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, exactly.
Oh, no, thank you.
Well, it's not that it does, but it's just where your head goes. The stuff that they give you just messes you up. And I'm like, I'm good. Thank you. I don't need that. But
Michelle's seen where my head goes, so she knows that ayahuasca would be a bad idea.
Bad idea. Yeah. So, but I want to just how about everyday dreaming? So you're going to bear with me because I got Wayne to send me his email, right? Yeah. So essentially this happened when he was about 4 years old, maybe 5. Everything happened to this poor guy at this age, kind of wakes up going, oh my God, I'm a child. So things started happening, and this was in a certain area out of Toronto. And apparently they were out that evening. They had a neighbor kid come over, babysit, that kind of thing. And he always had a fear of dinosaurs. And I truly believe that when we're dreaming, maybe sometimes we're actually traveling. So he had a very vivid dream where he was in a park at the end of the street, which, not uncommon, right? It was close to his house. In the dream, he's in the park without his parents, but there's a lot of other people around. Everything seemed normal. In his mind, he just sort of got separated from everybody and had no reason to panic because he was very familiar with the area. But all of a sudden, everyone starts to run northwards out of the park towards the street, and he didn't understand, but for some reason, he turned around to face south. Of course you did. And while they were all going north, but at that age, he never even knew what a dinosaur actually was. So never mind the various types. But now he could say it looked like it was either an Allosaurus or T-Rex, knowing what he knows now, right? What they look like. He said it was huge, making its way around the different clubhouse towards the playground. He goes, I was instantly terrified, turned around and started to run with everyone else. People were pushing strollers and running. They were just passing them. And it was just like, he said, it was like almost like they were moving in slow motion, like very, very vivid. So, as you go around at that point, he could feel the ground. It was so real, the ground under his feet were rumbling. And he continued to struggle along. And then the sun on the grass goes into shadow, and he clearly sees the roof of a dinosaur's mouth coming directly over top of him, so detailed he could see the ridges, the teeth, the saliva, blood vessels. I mean, everything. So a moment later, the jaws snapped shut across his abdomen. The pain was instant. I mean, it was intense. He feels like he's severed into two pieces. He's totally living this. So all of a sudden, he's crying, screaming. In that instant, he's awakened by his sitter. And he can hear his own screaming. He's trying to calm down, figure out what to do. His sitter's like, okay, what is the matter? What's going on? Calm down. You're okay. He got me out of bed, took me to the kitchen, sat me in a chair, and eventually got me to let go of my pajama shirt and lifted it up. Get this, okay? You want to talk leeching over? He said, I had between 4 and 5 dark bruises or welts across my stomach and a matching set across my back. Apparently, this freaked the guy out, and he called his mother who lived across the street, and she came in and had a look to see what the problem was. He goes, there was nothing in the room. The bed couldn't have done it. But as a child, he said he bruised very easily, as did his siblings. But, even though the sitter was considerably older, and as he became older, he would often bring up that story. And he said, I could see that in his face, it disturbed him deeply, because this is like how? You know what I mean?
Yeah,
How?
it's scary. It's scary.
That you're dreaming.
Especially as a child.
Yeah. Well, for sure.
There's nothing like when you're dreaming and you can feel, smell, breathe, hear your breath, hear your heartbeat, and aware of everything around you. I don't think we're dreaming. I think when it's that vivid, you're living it. Hi, Ed. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, exactly.
You're just living it.
He said there was absolutely, no explanation, So, I mean, what is it then? What actually, how does it traverse? Like, are you traveling and that's the end of it?
I feel like he was traveling in his instance. I don't know if we could say that about everybody, but that very much left marks on him. I mean, when it's something like that and you have the bruising, you've been traveling.
Well, yeah, because it's on both sides.
I feel like he fell into, while he was dreaming, this is a remote thing. While he was dreaming, he seen many dreams about just dinosaurs that were all like, because you're reliving a death. That's how I feel. Like it was reliving a death at that time. And then you're trying to make sense of it. So your brain's bringing in other visuals as well, like the carts, the children, the prams and things like that.
When it comes through in bruising, right where you basically would have been cut in half.
That's why I believe it was a I feel like your soul does that to try and help you move forward.
Yeah.
That's
crazy. He's 4. my
It feels
God.
real. I know, but
Yeah.
how many
Yeah,
of us
it's crazy.
remember things like that? How many people actually have experience like that? Not many.
Yeah. No, I truly believe they're out there. I mean, this whole show, that I, I always said I was a talking head on my opinion. Essentially was all people who have had, what they would call nightmares that somehow came through and affected their life so profoundly. It's frightening when you
Oh,
think about it, you
when
know?
I have really bad dreams, I call Michelle. Just like, okay. And
Yeah,
sometimes I don't because I know you've been really busy and I've had a few doozies and I write them down.
yeah,
And I do what you tell me to do, like break it up.
yeah.
But I know that the whole thing with me, and I don't want to give too much away because I'm going to be on Ed's show.
Mm,
um, the whole thing with me when I'm dreaming, um, I'm always starting at the same place though.
mhm,
I'm starting at my dad's lake house that
mhm,
he had built, and I'm always starting there.
mm,
And then it goes off into other
mhm,
time zones,
mhm.
and I know they're real.
Yeah.
Like, you ever feel the pain if you're
Mm,
being killed? You could actually feel the pain in the dream.
mhm.
Like,
Yeah.
that sucks. Went through
Mhm.
it once, why am I doing this again kind of thing, and I just recurring nightmares of clowns.
That's a
Wow,
mycophobia, yeah,
that's a phobia.
mycophobia. For sure. I mean, we know people. We know a specific person, Wayne and I, who is very
Oh
much
my.
terrified. Oh, yeah, terrified. I mean, to the
Yes,
point where he almost stroked out, like, a couple of times.
scary.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah, for
Yeah, yeah,
sure,
very
for
scary.
sure.
Um,
Alright.
yeah, recurring dreams scare me. I'm
Mhm,
not gonna lie. They
mhm,
terrify me, especially when there's I don't know about yours, Ed, but mine, like, they just keep growing.
mhm,
All the stuff in the beginning happens the same way all the time, and depending which direction I go in,
mhm,
once I get up the stairs, it's like, "Holy crap,
mhm.
where am I?"
Wow.
It's almost like that house. I wonder sometimes. I know they just sold it because my brother tried to buy it, which would have worked out really good for me because I could have
Mhm,
gone back.
mhm.
Um, I just wonder sometimes, is there a portal there?
Not hard to find.
No, I know, but I'm wondering when I have the dream,
Mhm,
I'm wondering, is that where I had to go through the portal? Is this why it's
mhm,
so familiar to me?
mhm.
Like, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, he hasn't had it in a while, but
Mhm,
it did grow and add to it. See?
mhm,
Yeah. Do you keep a journal of it or do you just can't be you just no way,
mm,
fearful?
mm.
I look for the
Definitely,
messages in those.
definitely interesting, to say
Look
the
at a
least.
cameraman in front of me.
Uh,
Yeah,
yeah,
that's my
the
point.
colors,
Portal and the
mm,
clown was the shape.
of the entity
Oh.
of the entity, huh, of or entity, yeah. Well,
Wow, look at that. Mr. Skeptic has a portal dream.
bam, Ed. Wow.
Sorry, I could
Uh,
not
how
ignore
about
that.
that one? Yeah.
Um,
Um, okay, so what do you have next? What do you want? We could do a couple of
well,
yours.
you oh,
Yeah,
okay.
go
Well,
ahead. Go ahead.
because of your love and um, I've learned everything I know about UFOs from you. And then I have a celebrity thing, but I didn't know that there was a school in 1994 called the Aerial School Encounter in Zimbabwe.
Yeah.
I didn't know that. And I'm watching this and I'm reading about it and I'm like, what the?
Yeah.
So, you don't think too much about this because it's a small, there's a
Mhm,
small village and it's a school.
mhm, mhm,
And it's like, how do you turn around and tell your people there's nothing to be concerned about when a whole school
mhm.
just
Yeah.
watched this and within arm's reach and they were communicating with them?
Mhm.
Like, for me, I'm like, I have to bring this up because I'm sure you probably did it with Joe on a show. I was just looking at strange UFO encounters and I was noticing that they were happening in the same decades of when I was looking at the stories. Like, Italy had 10,000 witnesses in 1954. It actually stopped a soccer game.
Yeah. But I mean, Preston Dennett was on our show. He did that show about UFO encounters, schoolyard encounters. And I couldn't believe at the time, I'm like, gosh, there are so many. It's like, I tend to wonder if it's because kids are so open-minded
and
pretty
short.
much fearless, right?
And
For the
short.
most part. Short, So, I mean, maybe that's why. Were
I'm
they
the same
actually
height I
ETs?
was in grade 5.
Yeah, were they actually ETs?
They were actual ETs. They all had the same vision. They were questioned, interviewed. They all saw the same thing. And it was within arm's length. You don't hear that kind of connection. That's why it struck me. And then I started looking at the flash UFO wave. 1993. This is 1994. And I'm looking 1970. Wait a minute. We're within the same 2 decades. What the hell is going on? But the one that makes me the most uncomfortable is the state of Indiana when they had that flash UFO wave where they had so many people calling in and they still were saying, no, it's military because they were seeing all different shapes. It wasn't just one. Some people were seeing 9, where they would see like 9 lights and then come together. Others saw triangular formations.
Well, the Phoenix lights, things like that, right?
It was all different.
Yes,
And I didn't know Indiana had it in 1993. And I'm like, yeah, I never would have heard about that then because first of all, I wasn't into it. Second of all, we didn't have the internet yet.
No, it's true.
Well, unless you're in MUFON or part of that or part of any group, I don't know. That's the only one I know the name of other than ICAR, but that's Joe's with the interviews. They kept saying, oh, it's the military. It was July 13th, 9 p.m. It hovered 25 feet above the ground. It was damn close. Everyone said between 20 and 25 feet, and there was a silence. Only one witness said she could hear a buzzing.
It kind of reminds me when I was in the haunted forest. We did that show a couple weeks ago with the girls and I when we were there.
Was it fun reliving it?
It's a great place. I would do it hands down and spend the night without a problem. Like there wasn't an issue. I think it was very respectful. There's not. I mean, they have UFOs, they have everything. And when you get that buzzing sound, we were getting a lot of that, a droning sound. Right. And you find out it's under a no-fly zone. You're kind of like, but it's also Romania's Bermuda Triangle. It's kind of like, come on, you know? So it does tend to be really, that's why we're doing this for you guys.
I'm trying. She's doing it for me.
I know. See,
I had to come ready.
I know.
I'm not going to let down my BFF. Yeah.
So, but I think with that, being said, that there's different. I like the similarities between the paranormal and ET. I would say, experiencers have, like the crackling, buzzing sound, like the smell of sulfur, like the bright lights that come in, like shadow beings, like orbs, it's all there. So how many times are people thinking they're having a major paranormal experiences? And I'll tell you something, I'm one of them. I'm one of them. I had so many ridiculous paranormal experiences, pretty terrifying as a kid, but you come to find out, after all these years, and I'm sitting here doing all this research, and I second guess it, kind of going, some of those were ET, because I talked to my mom before she passed. She goes, "Oh yes, my father Well, yeah, but my grandfather as well. I mean, my dad's side, the same. Like there were a
Yeah.
lot of stories that came forward, and you realize, oh, I'm a generational experiencer, so it makes sense that you've got both of these, you know, both of these correlations happening, and which one are you experiencing at that exact moment? You
Driving me
know,
crazy.
yeah, put me in touch. Well, we can make that happen for sure. We take requests all the time, you know.
Yes.
But
Um,
yeah,
I wanted your take on it because I know there isn't a story you don't know about, and I just thought maybe you can explain it because they were also differences in the color of lights, where some saw
yes.
white, some were seeing red, white, and
Talk about
green.
that. Talk about that. You have
Uh,
that? You have that? Yeah, do it.
mine?
Yeah, talk about.
Oh my gosh. Well, I was going to say not what was it, a month ago, 2 months ago? Michelle got several videos of something low lying in my backyard where there is absolutely nothing. I'm in the country, like there is
Mhm,
nothing behind me.
mhm.
And even though my husband kept saying, well, it's got to be that building has lights on it.
Yeah.
Why would it
Mhm.
have lights going like this
Yeah.
and they're red? I'm
I call
videotaping
BS.
this. I
Yeah,
called the one person who knows what this would
I
be.
know. I
And it
know.
happened for a few nights, which I'm going to check on tonight.
Mhm.
When it's just us. I'm going to go look.
Yeah.
Um, there is took the drive, which is not far
Yeah.
because it was in my own backyard. And I
Yeah.
kept thinking, I'm the skeptic. Well, maybe there's something further out. And Michelle's like, see if there's something further out. I take a picture during the day. She's like, yeah, there's nothing there. No, no.
I know.
And that thing was there again the next day,
I
just
know.
hovering red lights.
I know.
I did videotape it. I sent it to Michelle. Red lights.
I know. It's craziness when you think about
Yeah.
it, you
I
know?
wasn't expecting red. I was expecting, oh, well, maybe, if
Yeah.
it was something, wouldn't it be white? But no,
Yeah.
red lights. I
Yeah.
was, and I'm screaming, John, get down here, look. And of course, you can't see it from the main floor. You have to go upstairs
Yeah.
because we're under the bushes. So I brought him upstairs into the office, and he's like, it's just lights from the building. Sure. Chicken
Yeah.
with the feathers.
Yeah.
So I'm just like, yeah, no, they're coming to take me. And he was laughing. I was just trying to make light of it because I thought, oh, maybe he's trying to be a little tough and stronger, right? Because
Yeah.
everything that ever happens, and you
Mhm.
know this, in
Mhm.
here happens to him. We
Yeah.
don't know why, but if there's something scratches him, if it's a push, if it's a flashlight, we don't know why, but John's the witness all the time.
Mhm. Mhm.
So I was just like, you can see it, right? Like
Yeah.
I was wondering if he could even see what I was seeing. That's how
Mhm.
upset I was. So I'm sending it to Michelle, and Michelle, you can take it from here.
Yeah. Well, I mean, Joe and I both chimed in on that, and he's been in this for what, 40 years? Like,
Yeah. I went to the
a
right
long
people.
time. Yeah. Oh, yeah. I mean, he's been at it a really long time.
Yeah.
So I mean, it definitely, if it's a hey, if it was a drone, which it could be,
Oh,
which it
that
could
was big though.
they're the size of freaking cars now. But
Yeah.
here's the thing. I have not read any accounts of them being up within that area. Not that they're not in different
But I
parts
did
of
have
of
it
the
that week.
country.
Remember?
Okay. Yeah, 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 yeah. So, I think it's a matter of finding out who was it? Them
Oh yeah, good luck with that.
or us?
40 minutes from a US military base. Nobody's gonna tell me anything. But
Yeah,
I
yeah,
was really frustrated. The first night I was, like, kind of excited and scared,
mhm,
and then the second night I was like, "Oh, you guys still here?" No.
yeah,
Like,
yeah,
"Really?
yeah,
Want some coffee? How can I help you?"
I
But
know.
the thing that freaked me out the most was a few days before that, I had told Michelle that I was just going down the stairs, and whenever I go down the stairs into the kitchen, I have a lot of windows, so I always look out because
Yeah,
I can see the planes land in my backyard at a nearby. I have
yeah,
2 airports I'm in the
yeah,
middle of. So
yeah,
I looked and I'm like, "Wait a minute. that thing's not moving. It can't be bigger than a car. And the
And they're
way
pretty
the
much,
clips were,
yeah,
you're
yeah.
like,
I know.
what is that? It's just hovering. And how I know? Because I was looking through a picture window and it didn't move in the frame.
Yeah.
I have a big clear window over my sink. There's no obstructions.
Mm-hmm.
Why isn't it moving? And I started to like, am I here? Am I dead?
I know.
Like, am I dead? I'd still call Michelle if I was dead, but I mean, like,
Yeah, great. Yeah.
what the hell's going on here? Well, I have to tell you where everything is.
Wake up!
What the hell is going on here?
God,
But
great.
and then I thought,
Yeah.
there's the stories, there's a lot of drones. Didn't think anything of it, but when those lights came up that first day, I'm not gonna lie, it was a little shaky for me. I don't know if I've ever had experiences. I'm pretty sure I have, but I don't remember them.
Mhm.
This was all in my face.
Mhm.
And there's no building there. I even sent Michelle and
Mhm.
Joe the top bird's eye view of my property to
Mhm.
show you from satellite that there is nothing there.
Yeah.
So
And yeah, Dolly does say ET is not here, but they're not flying. They're not flying here. But there's still dimensional stuff going through. She and I have talked about this off, because we talk.
So maybe they come to Canada because we're so friendly.
Not anymore, apparently.
Apparently not.
Yeah.
They're gonna get rid of that little guy, man.
Apparently. So there are dimensional things. I mean, there are dimensional or interdimensional, multidimensional beings that come through all the time. And if we go back even to Nessie, we could look at the fact that maybe she is one of those
Right?
dimensional.
I mean, how does anyone know what it really looks like down there?
Well, they've already shown that they don't feel the lock is big enough to sustain something that big. So that means, okay, what is that? Is that dimensional? Is it not dimensional? I don't know. I tend to wonder because there are people who capture like videos and stills of things that are pretty incredible. Can we talk about those freaking flying witches? There was one in Milton a few years back. That
Milton?
Yes, a witch
Wow.
on a dang broomstick.
How did she get away from us? How did she get away from us? And why didn't she ask us to go with her?
Right. But these things pop up around the world.
I thought we got rid of all of those.
I know. So this was on, somebody captured that specific sighting, among others, on, the show Paranormal Caught on Camera. There's a plug. And yeah, plug.
About 50 of them in this show today. But
so it's kind of like it was just like moving around, and she's just when they zoom in on it, it is like the full throttle head cap, witch's hat on a bloody broom.
Mm-hmm. Scary. That's just creepy because you wonder is it real or is somebody cover a drone and they're flying it around for some kicks? See,
everywhere? Yeah, maybe.
It's really no. I'm saying in Milton because that's just so bizarre. Unless they conjured something up. If they conjured it up,
flying humanoids as well. Like they're like just people just zipping about, and it's been going on for like a really long time. Like we see.
I'm terrible. I laugh at them, but man, if I saw one, I don't think I'd be laughing.
It's just different. It's just different.
No, because anything that flies, you know how I feel with hags and stuff like that. Like it's like, like it's almost like a shadow. You don't see it coming at you, so it's hard to defend yourself.
Yeah, I know. It's freaky. See, yes. This one here. Girl in Russia. Okay. See, so here's my question to that one. Do you remember that one?
I don't remember.
Okay. So what it is that the one in the forest, Trish? There's one where this little girl is flying on a circle. She's just hovering while the mom is watching her. And
yes. Right? It was on video.
is
A
it just
balloon.
is it like an energy spot that she just comes in and just
She wasn't surprised
yeah, but
until she noticed somebody was filming her, and then she walked away and
I
carried the
know.
kid like a balloon.
Yeah. Well, which means so which means
Happy birthday.
yeah, right? So is it just did she just hit a power spot? Are there we know there are power spots all over the world that
We gotta
just
find that one. That one is wicked.
so is it the kid or is it the place? What do you guys
Oh,
think? The
both.
kid or the place?
Maybe this is where she brings her child because there's a portal there that they need to enter and exit from, because we don't really see
She's
much
just floating
when
around
she
like
turns
this.
the corner. When she
Yeah.
notices, you see her
You
pull her
see her
daughter,
take off. Yeah,
and she
yeah.
goes around the
Yeah.
other side. And you could still cancel me. It's not till May, so at least you know what you're getting here. But like, I just I just think, why did she pull the kid down? Because this man's like, look at this. He caught it on his phone. He was hiking.
I know. I know. Hey,
Hi,
Star.
Sloan. How are you?
Yeah.
Yeah, like creepy.
Uh,
And I
okay.
wonder, is this something that she needs to be there in order to like energize the bunny kind of thing, like recharge the kid?
Recharge.
Like USB. What is it?
Oh, I'm dying.
You missed me, didn't you?
I'm dying.
I'm trying to make sense of this because it's
Recharge
the
the
weirdest.
kid. I
Like a USB stick, but like, this is the weirdest thing I have ever seen on video and not been able to say. Wait, see, Ed thinks I'm right. She was recharging the kid.
oh my God. See, maybe. I don't
Well,
know. I
it
don't
could
even
be
know
a
now.
place of, we have to clean our
Yeah.
crystals in the moonlight. Maybe she has to bring her child in the portal. I don't know. It's
I'm
just it makes me uncomfortable. That's why I'm making fun of it. Because when something makes me uncomfortable, I go to laugh mode, and I shouldn't, because this was not expected. This threw the guy off.
mm,
And when you're watching this video, you know it's not faked by her reaction when she realizes she's being filmed. That wasn't a faked reaction.
mhm.
She was concerned.
Yeah.
Didn't somebody go missing before the kid was in the air?
I don't know.
I'm pretty sure
I
it's
don't know
the
about that
same
part.
video
Yeah.
that someone just walks and then they're gone, and then her kid's, like, up in the air. I'm like, "What the hell?"
Kids up in the
I think it
air.
was
What
on
the hell?
I think the first time I saw it was, like, on one of those, the shows that, William Shatner does,
I can't
or
place
Dan
it.
Aykroyd. Why is it that Canadians do all these paranormal shows? Um,
I can't place it. I'm trying to find it on my phone. Um, I know,
Balloon
because it
Girl
bothers me. The
hiking.
balloon girl. I know. I can't find it. I'll be here all freaking day. Okay, I'll find it and just send it
Oh
off to
my
myself
god.
because I have to stay on my screen. So,
Oh, it
um,
wasn't part of that video? I believe you, Trish. I have a terrible memory, so if
yeah.
you say it wasn't, it wasn't.
I think, I
Um,
mean, there are yogis out there and everything that can levitate. In all fairness,
yes.
there are people
I
out
don't
there who
think
can
she was
levitate.
a yogi.
Yeah,
I
right.
don't
So
think that she's ever
I
done
know.
yoga.
So we don't know for sure, right?
It
But
wasn't much bigger than a
it's
balloon.
possible. Okay, what do you got next? What do you have next? Let's just
Oh, I have
do
a
your stuff.
really cool. I love this. I know we've talked about this before, but I thought, just in case some of you are not familiar, although you guys are so knowledgeable, and I'm the one who's learning here. High Strangeness in the Enza Borrego triangle.
Mm,
The white, what they feel, they call him the Sandman, but they think that it might be somewhat of an urban legend to call him that because he's 8 foot tall. They varied his weight between 400 and 500 pounds. He's said to have white furry hair with red eyes and resembles an upright walking furred ape. But they're also saying that it could be a distant cousin to Bigfoot, which I'm thinking, is this the albino version? Because
Well,
it's
that would be
white
like
with red
Yeti.
eyes,
That would be like the
right?
Yeti is said to be the albino, like the
The Yeti,
snow
yeah. But
snowman,
this is
as they
but
call it.
this
Yeah,
one's
yeah,
like an ape shape. They said it's just the hair is white.
yeah,
And I'm like, no, but this is not in a cold place.
yeah.
This is Southern California desert.
So that's weird.
Borrego Triangle is the Southern California desert. And we should maybe have these guys on. They just put out their documentary about this on Prime.
Send it on over.
David Flora and Derek Hayes. I have them talking on it. They're both podcasters,
Yeah,
met up and then started researching this thing.
beautiful.
And it's called the Borrego Triangle, where you have UFO cryptids, and it's
Yes, of
mapped
course.
out like a triangle.
Yes.
And the people, the natives there, the indigenous, call them Yucca Man.
Yeah.
And they're like, this is Bigfoot's cousin. But he's starting to show, if it's a he, is starting to show himself in the north, even in San Diego.
Mhm.
So they said like their sightings have been
Oh,
different, but the state park is 585,000 acres.
wow.
It's the
That's
largest state park.
substantial.
The stories and sightings begin in the 1800s.
Mhm,
They go back that far.
mhm,
And then there's one where 1962, a retired, I can't even talk, a retired police officer took
mhm.
a cast of a footprint, and it was said to be 24 inches. And it is in the International Cryptozoology Museum in Portland right now.
That's crazy. That's
Yeah.
a big one.
So they show it. I'll send you that clip where I found it, and they
Mhm.
show how it came out to a triangle. And I'd never even heard of it, because I know there's
Well,
like millions of triangles I've never heard of.
well, there are.
But
You have those famous ones, of course. But look at, the
yeah,
Vortex detective Dan Shaw has been on
yes,
our show a multitude of times, and he shows all the different, triangles with the ley lines all connect and the mountains connect. And I think it's
yeah.
very possible.
Well,
There's so much out there.
there's so
Yeah.
much going on in this park
Yeah.
too, because they have a sink basin, so you can
Yeah.
sink. There's so
You
much
can
going
sink.
on. You can sink, like quicksand kind of thing.
Yeah.
And I can
Yeah.
understand why the natives of that area call them a sandman, because it's the desert
Mhm.
part of that state park.
Mhm.
So I had no idea. White, furry, and red eyes resembles an
Mhm.
upright walking ape. That's the same way Bigfoot
Mhm.
is
Well,
described. And maybe there's like a lack of gene, like there is with
any albino.
albino,
Yeah,
right?
that could
We
be.
have albino
That could be.
horses and all
Moose,
kinds of
those
stuff.
I have all
Yes.
kinds of animals.
There's only one
I
left.
have an albino squirrel, actually, like
Oh, I love
a
them.
very, very old piece of taxidermy, and I have pictures of one that we just saw 2 years ago, an albino
We're
squirrel,
we only have,
just
I
out in
think,
the
one
area here.
albino moose left,
Yeah, I know.
if they're counting
Somebody
properly.
shot it. I
Nice.
like Trisha's comment, and I'd like to respond to that.
Yeah.
Do you wanna get it? Do you want me to get it?
Sure, I can read it. You're gonna respond? I'll read it
Yeah.
for you.
Yeah,
If Bigfoot, Yeti, and the like are interdimensional, if they wanted, they could travel to any land other than their own.
okay. So there is a strong belief that they could be like, if you're getting into the quantum thing, Ron Moorhead, who has been on our show a couple times,
Love him.
He's look up the Sierra Sounds, look up Alaska Killer Bigfoot. He did a whole segment with these guys on quantum, the quantum aspect of these beings. So the thing with these guys, it is believed that they do travel and that they use portals, and orbs are often seen with them. Shadow people are often seen with them. You have primatologists who believe, no, this is for sure. Uh, a type of primate. There have been other cryptozoologists who've said, no, it's something more than that, just based on, the bits of fur that they do find, or DNA that they do find. But what I always find interesting is when these things are, hightailing it out of there, people have come across their footprints just stopped dead. there's nowhere that they could have gone. They do a perimeter search and they don't see that the footsteps, maybe that they've jumped and taken off from another direction. They check, they look up in the trees. Are there nests around? Are there cave systems or caves around? Or there are a lot of things that leave you questioning it for sure. And I think
Mhm.
that's part of the allure of it. There have been, whistleblowers who have said that they have spotted, Bigfoot in lower levels of military bases and things like that. We know that during the eruption of Mount St. Helen, that they were spotted being, helicoptered out. We know that there's stories of, you've heard me talk about the Land Between the Lakes before, where they're taking, cryptids, military taking cryptids. Like there's anything is possible at this point, but it is really, really fascinating for sure. Um,
Yeah.
a Yowie. Yeah, it's always fun, which is like Australia's version of a Bigfoot right there. Tamara, from these crypts that follow them home. See, this is interesting. They're now saying that some of the researchers are getting attachments from these cryptids that follow them home. Now,
Yeah.
first off, why would they want to follow you home? And why would they want to attach? A lot of these cryptids they try to stay they
Hidden,
just try
right?
to stay elusive.
Yeah.
I mean, unless you're looking at Mothman, people, if you're looking at, John Keel, when he wrote Mothman Prophecies, there were a lot of stories based around that where people felt that they were haunted by this guy, So I think anything is possible, for sure. Mark, hello, you made it. God, hello. It's late
Hey.
for you over
Yeah.
there, by the way, like 3:15. He's a champ. So, okay, so let's move along. Nick Pope, everybody. Nick Pope, you guys know him from a lot of the Ancient Aliens segments. He has a new documentary that's out, a new film. It's called Alien Awakening, the UFO Reality Unveiled.
Wow.
And it just came out on the 11th. So it's his new film. You could see it on Amazon, iTunes. It's got Google Play coming soon, Xbox, Vimeo, YouTube. Seems to be everywhere. And it's called Alien Awakening, the UFO Reality Unveiled. So check it out. Because and I mean, anything he does tends to be very interesting. And I think this is a great topic. I can't wait to see it. Frankly, I just cannot wait to see it. So that is that. And I'm going to show a picture, but well, let me see if I can give you guys a picture of this. Okay, hold on. I'm going to see if I can bring this up. Here we go. Okay. Give me 1 second. I'm going to put this up for you guys so you could see it.
Okay.
You're welcome. Just so you know what you're looking for. There's so much out there. Okay, here it is. So there it is. It was released on the 11th, and this is pretty much what you're looking for.
Wow.
Alien Awakening, the UFO Reality Unveiled. Looks fascinating to me. It really does.
Is it a documentary or a series?
No, it looks like he's just said his film. So I have to
Okay.
assume it's a documentary. So that is what you're looking for with that.
Cool.
Let me stop this one and I'm going to go on to the next thing. So here's an interesting little something. You guys chime in. Let me know what you think about this. I'm just going to bring this up a little bit. So back in, I believe it was let me just bring it up. December 1st, 1987, ex-policeman Philip Spencer photographed a green humanoid alien on Lickley Moor in the UK. He saw a white UFO depart, and the image verified by Kodak. So I guess he had a Kodak camera, and back 87, he would have been, pretty much film. They verified the image, and so basically was not a fake, and remains a key case in UFO studies. So the thing is that Kodak says, I'll put it up, and then we can look at it and talk about it. Okay, we'll let everybody see it. Okay, here it is. This is it. So Kodak says that they did not. I mean, it's fascinating. They confirmed that the film was not tampered with. But as for the photo itself, of course, it's blurry. It looks like he took it from a distance. May have tried just to try to,
Oh,
blow it up.
wow.
So believers see a humanoid alien. Skeptics see a man in a suit, or maybe a trick of light. So what do you guys think? I mean, you don't know that it's not, but the film wasn't tampered with. But we don't know, is it actually something, something of interest? Looks reptilian. Yeah, it looks like one of those crossovers, Tamara. They have some that
Because of the head.
yeah, there have been some reports of what looks like a gray, but with a bit of like a reptilian skin. So I don't know if we're looking at hybrids, but it is definitely interesting. Yeah, Stone says the same thing. Yeah. Nope, we started at the exact same time.
It's the long arms for
Yeah.
me.
Yeah, elf ears, possibly.
For me, it's the long arms. Look how long the arms are.
They're very long. Yeah. So, I mean, I always say you can't fudge the negative, but you can fudge it once it hits online for sure.
Just laughing.
Could
It's
be.
like a hand X-ray. That's a weird looking hand.
They did go back. Yeah, last week. So yeah, that might be why it's different for you. Yeah. So I think
that's right.
Yeah, so that's going to be effective with some people for sure.
We have stupid daylight savings.
Honestly. So it makes you kind of wonder, what is it? 1987. I think it's interesting that they definitely captured it. Okay, I sent myself something. I have to go back in my email to grab this.
Okay, I'm sending you that link for that other thing, so you don't have to open it. You'll see it come up now.
Okay.
There's a whole bunch of them.
Okay, hold on. Okay. Oh, hold on. Okay, so I'm going to share this with you guys. It's in the email. I couldn't just copy the email. So there is this AI rendition where the AI recreates the man on the Shroud of Turin, and they're saying, could it be Jesus?
Oh,
so I know I'm going to play it because it's interesting, because it does look pretty much like the image for sure, but AI, buggers things up. It's not perfect for sure. So I'm going to play this. Hold on. Share. Bear with me, guys. Okay. Now here we go. I'm going to play it right now. There we go.
Oh.
So, yeah. Thoughts? This apparently is the image that AI has pulled from the shroud. No? Anyone? What are your thoughts?
Yeah, sure. Point at the Catholic girl in the room.
Yeah, but yeah, see, I feel the same way, but the image is pretty. But again, right. It is creepy seeing it move.
For me, it really lacks the forehead definition of
it would, yeah.
Yeah,
AI
because
lacks the details.
Because it would have been, he would have had a wider forehead, a little bit wider on the face, and he wouldn't have an extra long goatee.
This is true.
It'd be more like Moses, where like the beard is coming because there was something
Yeah.
There was a reason for it. I don't know if it was spiritual. I don't know if it's just culture, the times. Maybe it was to keep them from burning their face, keep them cooler. I don't know.
Yes.
But he's feminized, and I
Well,
don't think of Jesus Christ as a small boned man.
and I don't look at him as Caucasian per se.
Not at
either.
all.
Like
Not at all.
more dark skin, 100%. But it is interesting. It just goes to show there's that controversy. I did a whole show on something entirely different that involved it in a way, but it's
interesting though.
Yeah.
Because I'm that person that can't watch video footage of someone who's passed away that's really close to me. I can't handle it. I break down. So for me, regardless of what I think of my faith, meaning religion stuff, I still believe in him and I believe in God. So for me to see that, it's disturbing because I feel like it's almost like a mockery of.
This is the
age. Terrible to be offended by that.
Nope, because this is
wasn't
the age of. That's what I said. I don't.
Brown eyes, brown skin.
So this is the age of AI, and I imagine we are going to start seeing a lot of this sort of thing
that we don't want to see.
No, exactly. 100%.
Anybody out there in that, even if they started off as a Caucasian, would not be white because of where they lived. You would be brown.
100%.
My mother was brown, and she was an Italian. Like she had dark olive skin in the winter.
Yeah,
it's just my brothers were the same. Like it just if you're living out that way,
yes,
your genealogy is going to come up brown.
Yes, 100%. But again, this is the age we live in. Does anybody ever figure out why all of these tests came up? Those little quizzes that fun games on different social media platforms where it has to do with redoing your face. This is what you would look like if you were this person. And then it's kind of like facial recognition on certain technology. Be careful because you're getting your face mapped. So I don't do those.
Careful.
Yeah,
because,
100%.
Because the face mapping that they use on like Big Brother cameras and stuff like that are great, but they can only judge certain things. Like the width of your cheekbones, your eyes, and they'll know that this fits this facial the cranial visual, but it doesn't mean that it's you. So there's so many other things that they emulate, like the way your gait, your walk,
everything.
Your gait is how you walk. They get that down and a height, you're screwed.
Yes,
watch
exactly.
yourself.
Exactly.
So, you think it was bad when they did ID theft? Wait for this one.
Wait for it. Yes.
Oh yeah.
Okay, so the last time we had an open mic, you weren't here, so I'm gonna put this one out there again because I want your opinion.
Okay.
Yeah, exactly.
Really?
Exactly.
She loves me.
so because you follow this too, though.
Yes.
So apparently the Pope, right, is like he's got like a foot out there, foot out there.
Not anymore.
And there was an article. Actually, there was more than one article floating around. So I'm wondering if he's just lost his faculties, because we knew that. I think that was coming. It was pretty evident
2 years ago.
Or and what happened during the opening of the portals? We'll leave that right there. So he had said that you should all be worshiping Lucifer.
He's out of it.
There's been a lot of people. Let's look. We've got Moloch at the Vatican, right? There's a lot. When you dig deep without going deep, but in your mind, dig deep and ask yourself, is it possible?
Anything is possible. Lucifer was light. He was loved by God.
Right.
He was the favorite.
Yes.
And if you watch enough episodes of Supernatural, you start to feel sorry for him.
Yeah.
anything is possible. I don't believe everything that was written in the Bible is accurate. And I think most of us here at this show and who gather here every Wednesday and Thursday don't have that faith in it either. You know, but from my experience with what I've been shown, I question things as well because of people's suffering and people that we've helped. I just, with Pope Francis, was I supposed to say his name?
No. Oh, no, it doesn't matter. He's the Pope. He's
okay.
The Pope. He is.
I believe his first mistake was bringing the deity onto the altar. It's a holy, sacred place for the Roman Catholics, and I think they took huge offense. I think he lost his mind a couple years ago, even when he made that visit to the indigenous tribe to make those apologies based on the Catholic residential schools. I think even at that point, he wasn't, not because he came, but because he brought them rosaries. And I'm like,
oh, Jesus.
You know, something's not right. And if you understand the system, which I'm not explaining it to Michelle, I'm just speaking out loud, you know that he's not really ruling everything. If you watch Conclave, you'll be like, holy crap, it's real.
It's
when he first came in, I thought, hi Nathaniel, this is so good because I loved him. He was from, he was Latino, he was younger, he was open to the gay marriage, and he was open to all of this. And then my favorite leader let him into the establishment. I won't use the other word so I don't get nailed. And he changed. So I have to wonder if something else resides there.
Do you think, well, for sure, you don't put a statue of freaking Moloch at the front door of the Vatican.
Oh, they named the telescope Lucifer.
For sure. So you have to wonder, like, even when he didn't have his faculties and they did the opening of the 5 portal doors that lead to all these crazy places, why would he have decided to do that? We talked about that.
He was compromised.
Was compromised for sure. Still is, I think.
Absolutely. Well, how did he come out of double lung pneumonia and they were calling for his death and telling people to pray for him, and now he's at home?
So he's okay. Well, I mean,
so I have a different theory than anybody of my family that are devout Catholic. I don't believe, I very much love the old Catholic Church, which we know a lot of people that are part of. They don't submit to the Pope. They don't take rulings from the Pope. The Pope replaced, Caesars and emperors. If you look at it that way, you start to look at it differently when you read the history. Not even a perception, it's actual fact. You have to see the death and the violence that it created over like thousands of years ago. And oh my gosh, the fact that they can come in at an older age and stay till they die is so wrong. Because you have countries looking to you on how to move forward. Your, whatever you want to call them, your parishioners or whatever, your followers. I think there should be a cutoff time because it's a very political movement.
Well,
I think all the emails. It's okay. I have a delete button. But it's just my opinion. I used to say to my mother, even when I was younger, I'm like, Pope John Paul's still alive? And she'd be so angry with me because, well, they stayed till death. Really? Because Benedict, he signed off long before Queen Elizabeth. I mean, Queen Elizabeth worked to the last day of her life.
Yeah,
I think that they should come in younger and leave. There should be a retirement date. You're talking about someone who can control so much stuff. Would you want your leader of the country being able to push a button at 97, 98 years old?
No, I think I would be okay with that not happening.
Yeah, I've
but
always believed that, and my mother
Yeah.
said, "You're terrible." Like, she hated me for it. She's
Right.
like, "Oh, you've never really, you
Right.
know, considered much for the church." I go, "No, the church never really considered much for me." There's a difference. But I just find it amusing. It's there's rules for me, for thee, and not for me. So yeah, you just got me on a really.
Yeah. So she
I don't
says
like it.
he was the first pope in 500 years to leave being
Benedict.
an actual pope.
Benedict was also a soldier for Gobelin
Yeah.
and Hitler, but
exactly.
whatever.
Yeah. It gets pretty wild. So I mean,
Yeah.
you start getting into some of that. It gets pretty gets pretty deep. And
I don't understand why we have a pope, because the cardinals run everything.
well, they're getting into a whole other show.
That's like saying, I don't know, like the generals, don't they stay back while the soldiers go out?
That's what I mean. Like that's a whole other show. It gets pretty political. So unfortunately, we can't do it on this show.
No. But when it comes
do it on the other show, we can't do it on this show.
When it comes to a point, no, but it starts to become, they're supposed to leave that kind of thirst for power behind. It's part of their sacrifices, the things that they give up. And I find that they're just getting more and more of it as they fall further in. It doesn't fit with their doctrine in the beginning.
Yeah. There's a lot. There's a lot. So, while we're on the topic, talk about, because your mom had an experience in Padre Pio. Like, why did they resist him so much with the stigma?
Because he was performing miracles and he was gaining more attention than the Pope. It really literally comes down to that. I have his journal and I've read it. I have his journal and he would have sacrificed anything to continue. But the cardinals didn't like the fact that people were going to San Giovanni Rotondo in southern Italy, which is the town that he's from, and the cathedral is named, which is so weird, St. John Round. Anyway, my brother-in-law is actually from there and remembers him. He's old enough to remember him.
That's awesome.
Yeah. And, I think it became something of, it was all about branding, and it was interfering with the Pope at the time. The Pope at the time wasn't such a nice man when he was going through that. And then Vatican II came out, where they changed a bit of the rules. It wasn't long after what he went through.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
and you'll find Italians pushing St. Pio more than you'll find the church pushing him, because he was one of them. He was a peasant in southern Italy who always had faith from young age, not many friends, and went into ministry early. And they kept thinking that he was lying.
Yeah.
Vatican II was definitely a mistake.
Yeah.
It gave them way too much power.
It would be nice, we get into the Vatican archives and the Vatican tunnels that lead to all these. They believe that they lead to other locations. A lot is starting to surface about that. Do you think that we're going to get to a point where everything is going to become transparent, or do you think it's going to go totally the other way?
I think they're going to try and salvage it and push it the other way, because it is a business.
Yeah, but we're coming into an age right now of transparency. Like, he is supposed to be the last pope, isn't he?
Maybe when they said that, they meant physically, not AI.
Right.
This is why we love each other.
That was in my head.
It's like, I get, that's right.
Right. Right.
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
because we're both firm believers in perspective. It's not what you see, it's what's
Mhm.
not being shown. And sometimes it's exactly what you see.
Yes. Yes.
So, but if you watch Conclave, it's not a great film,
Mhm.
but eye-opening.
Mhm. Yeah. Yeah, it is said that Pope Francis is the last. I don't know. It's you know what? I do tend to think now we're in this age of artificial intelligence, and I think that
Yeah,
they
it's
can and
scary.
have been projecting a lot of things out there that we are looking at. Things are not always as they seem, and on the flip side, hidden in plain sight.
And then if you look at the Vatican as a city, a country, and a mafia-controlled functioning business,
Mhm.
there may be a pope that's just shoved in there.
Mhm. Yeah. Yeah, it's a tough one,
Well,
isn't it?
there's a lot of crimes committed in the Vatican City.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
So
yeah,
there's
yeah.
banking, there's
Mhm.
embezzlement, there's money
It's
laundering, and
like
you
any
can't touch them.
business. It's like it
But they're considered a small country, so no one can touch it.
Mhm. Yeah, I don't wanna go too deep into it. I'd actually
No,
like to
no,
keep
no.
the show on.
Yeah, no, sorry. It's
Yeah.
just I'm like,
Otherwise, you could all find it on the other platform that
sorry.
we put our archives on.
I can
Yeah,
see like an AI kind of image.
yeah.
It just, in my opinion, should not be his.
Mhm. Yeah. I know.
I feel like
It is
something.
interesting. Okay, what have you got? Go back to your list.
Oh, my
Let's see.
last thing, because we
Yeah.
don't always talk about. So, I have two things.
Okay, we'll do it. We'll
I
finish
know
off with them.
we talked about this before, but I thought it was interesting enough to bring it up again in case some people. I know we made mention of it. The blood falls of Antarctica.
Mhm.
The glacier bleeds due to iron oxide creating that rusty color that comes out.
Mhm.
But scientists believe it's because of microbial life, not because of
Mm.
the iron oxide coming
Well,
out.
we all know that, again, a lot of information is coming forward.
Yeah.
I mean, could very well be both, could be one, could be the other, but Antarctica is giving up its secrets. I think the planet itself is giving up the secrets. And we have technology that also, exposes a lot of these, hidden, um, you know, hidden bits of civilization and some, but not all those places are off limits.
Mm-mm.
So I guess we have to ask ourselves, why are things off limits?
And
Um,
what's underneath?
well, I mean, Preston Dennett's coming on April 10th to talk about UFOs over Antarctica.
Okay, then we can ask him if that's.
Yeah, he's got a lot of stories. He's gonna talk about and share, and his stories are all eyewitness accounts and such. So it will be fascinating to see. But there's a lot there. I mean, we can get into all kinds of things, like the wall beyond Antarctica, which is set to you can grow food is being grown enough to sustain everybody. Like there's so many little bits of information. I'm just like, get me
Why
started.
won't they let
We're
us
gonna have
go
to do
there?
shows just on,
Forget
right?
Mars. I want to be on Arctica.
Well, see, Alan, this is a really big theory, the flat Earth theory about, with
Yeah.
beyond the wall. There is a lot. There's a lot. It's all stuff that is kind of like, you know, while you're in good standing, can you take pictures?
How much do you like each other?
Yeah,
Well, if you know
like
he's
good
going
former, not
there,
good
then
former. Yeah.
you might have a friendship, right? Can we get photos?
Yeah. Pictures. You're gonna show them internationally
He
to
doesn't
millions
have
of
to be in
people.
them. If you don't like him, we
Yeah.
don't even have to
Yeah.
acknowledge him.
Just cut
Just
them out.
we just want to see the snow and
Yeah,
where this red Niagara
I know.
Falls is.
See,
Um,
there's a lot. There's a lot. So I think that's definitely something that we're going to honestly, there's shows I specifically want to get into, but it will
yes.
take me about 20 hours to put it together. I used to do the Gray Zone shows, and it would take me 20 to 24, 5 hours a week to put
Yeah.
that together. And I just need the time to be able to do that. So it will happen, I promise.
Epic.
Well, yeah, I collect things just in the meantime and I'll put it all together. So, okay,
Yeah.
next.
I have a thing on Joan Crawford. Hold on, because now I'm in the Hollywood thing. Because I can't have me talking here and nothing about Hollywood. The American actress Joan Crawford. We all knew her for those wicked roles
Bullying.
that she played in those eyes and
A
stuff.
bully mama. Yeah.
Has a warped legacy, and after her death, her adopted daughter Christina Crawford shocked the world with her heartbreaking story in the book Mommy Dearest.
Yes.
Years later, in 1989, Christina explained the house she grew up in, Brentwood, was haunted, and she saw things in the house. Joan went on to die in that home, and things got even stranger. So spontaneous fires primarily in the wall behind Joan Crawford's, where Joan Crawford's bed used to be.
Right.
So, and then it says once the Beverly Hills Fire Department spent 4 days there attempting to solve the mystery of the spontaneous fires that would break out on the walls. She said the owners decided to have the house exorcised numerous times. And Christina later said every single family that has lived in that house has had horrible things happen: illness, alcoholism, addictions, relationship problems, and now evidently the current owner, the walls are breaking out in flames. It would not surprise me in the least. If the mystery spontaneous fire, sorry, it's almost done. The owners decided to have the house exorcised numerous times, and Christina later said every single family that has lived in that house has had to leave. Evidently, with the current owner, the walls are just breaking out in flames. She said that again. But it would not surprise her in the least if the haunting spirit that is in the house is indeed Crawford. She was capable of real evil, Christina has said about her adoptive mother.
So it makes you wonder what came first, the horse or the cart. Was there something in the house that Joan lived in it, and therefore being the type of personality that she was? Oh, you're doing this. You're going to open yourself up big time.
Yeah.
To anything stepping in and taking control.
Yeah.
So was it that, or was it that she was this type of individual and brought something in?
I believe she was easy prey for them because she was such a nasty person. But I was just curious to see if there's still any where you see these celebrities and the hauntings, you hear the stories, but I find the ones that come from the family members mean the most. That they're sharing those with us. Like Anna Nicole Smith will frequent the Hard Rock Hotel where she had passed away, and frequent the hallways, and I'm always thinking she probably is looking for her daughter because she had just had her.
Yeah, could be.
So I'm wondering if she's just looking. There are places that she frequent, and you would just see visions. Witnesses have seen visions of her. Lucille Ball is often seen in her Beverly Hills mansion, where she actually passed away, and several owners hear voices. Furniture is being moved, and I don't know why this one. Maybe
furniture. That's cool.
Maybe she's upset because broken windows. This one touched my heart because I am an Amy Winehouse, huge fan of Amy Winehouse. Her father has reported his daughter's spirit often visits him and sits at the end of the bed. And he asks her if she's okay. And then after that, she started coming as a blackbird.
Yeah, because, she's over. She's over from what we understand. So the blackbird would make sense as a representation.
Yeah, he said soon after. Yeah.
Yeah.
I thought that was really cute. But there were, Marilyn Monroe still does haunt where she was murdered. You heard me say that, Kennedy.
It's sad. It's all sad.
Yeah.
But it's a good way to finish off, the
On
segment.
a lighter note.
On a lighter note, yeah. Tomorrow
Yeah.
night, guys, Priscilla Lozado Cruz is coming on, and
Ooh.
it's going to be a lot of fun because Priscilla's definitely a lot of fun, but she's
Mhm.
going to be talking. We tried to streamline what she's going to be talking about a little bit because it's so vast. You just don't have enough time to do it. But she'll do astrology readings for the next couple of months. And she's, as per every, the different astrological signs, but she's also going to talk about the upcoming eclipse, all the planets that are in retrograde and the ones that are coming up as well in the next couple of months, and how we will be experiencing that and how they're going to be affecting all of these individual signs and so on. So this is definitely one of those put your seatbelts on and let's see what happens because
Yeah.
it is really going to be it's going to be a great show. She's always a lot of fun. So, with that being said, of course, we have to give you guys all the really big thank you,
Yes.
for joining us and giving us your insight and, your opinions and sharing in the show with us as well. And, of course, we have to give our sponsors, Folgers, Justice Snicker, Steve McGinnis, all a huge thank you. We appreciate you all so very much. And big thank you to United Public Radio, UFO, Paranormal Radio, 1077, 105.3 FM. We are so grateful to be here. And right there, there it is. There it is. Right. Right. So, yeah, if you ever drink, and it should be Folgers. Absolutely. It should be Folgers. Yep. Absolutely. You know, thank you guys,
Yeah.
everybody. We just appreciate you all so much for being here. And we'll see you all tomorrow night. Thank you and good night.